Welcome to Rainbow Spotlight. Today we're diving into the most heart-melting, internet-breaking love stories of 2025. And trust us, these couples are pure magic. From Olympic kisses to wedding bells, from quiet moments to viral declarations, these 5 gay love stories didn't just light up our feeds, they inspired millions around the world. We're here to celebrate love that's bold, fearless, and unapologetically queer. And hey, we want to hear from you too. Drop a rainbow in the comments if love has made you smile today and tell us where you're watching from. Get ready, because by the end of this video, your heart's going to be full and your faith in love fully restored. Let's jump in. Jacob Bixenman and Troye Sivan, when indie pop found its muse. When Troye Sivan burst onto the music scene, he already carried the aura of an icon in the making, shy, boyish, and disarmingly honest. But it was when Jacob Bixenman entered the picture that something shifted, not just in Troye's life, but in the way we saw queer love play out in pop culture. Jacob, a model and photographer with striking ethereal looks, met Troye in 2016. From the start, their connection felt different. It wasn't tabloid-fueled drama or publicist-arranged appearances. It was intimate, quiet, and deeply authentic. Fans first caught wind of their relationship through subtle Instagram posts, sunlit selfies, backstage hugs, and snapshots of mundane but magical moments. Coffee runs, lazy mornings, road trips that felt like indie film scenes. What made Jacob and Troye's relationship stand out wasn't just that they were 2 gorgeous men in love. It was how they presented that love to the world. There was no performative queerness, no look-at-us energy. Instead, they offered something rare, a window into a relationship built on softness, trust, and mutual creativity. Troye's music, particularly on the albums Bloom and In a Dream, reflected that transformation. Lyrics about longing, intimacy, and vulnerability took on new shades of meaning when fans knew Jacob was behind the inspiration. Music videos like Lucky Strike and Dance to This Way with Ariana Grande carried an unmistakable undercurrent of romantic freedom, and interviews often revealed Troye's joy at having someone who not only loved him, but understood the industry chaos he navigated. Jacob, on the other hand, was a muse who stayed grounded. Though he walked runways and shot campaigns for brands like Saint Laurent and Valentino, he often seemed most at home behind the camera, exploring photography and film. His artistic sensibility wasn't lost on Troye's audience either. Many suspected Jacob had a quiet hand in shaping the aesthetic of Troye's evolving image. But, as with many young love stories lived in the public eye, theirs eventually came to an end around 2020. While they never issued dramatic statements or messy unfollows, fans noticed the shift. And yet, even in parting, Jacob and Troye offered something tender and mature, an example of how queer love can be passionate, inspiring, and still worthy of respect when it ends. Their time together left an indelible mark, not just on each other, but on a generation of queer fans watching. They showed that it was possible to live openly, to love beautifully, and to part gracefully, all while holding on to one's sense of self. So today, when we look back at Jacob Bixenman and Troye Sivan, it's not just about the headlines or the fan edits. It's about remembering a moment when indie pop and fashion collided, when 2 young men loved without apology, and when that love quietly reshaped what visibility could look like. Drop a 1 if you believe some love stories stay with us forever, even after they've ended. Gus Kenworthy and Matthew Wilkas, when an Olympic hero found love on his own terms. For much of his early career, Gus Kenworthy was living a double life. As a professional freestyle skier, he soared over halfpipes and stomped daring landings, racking up medals and sponsors. But beneath the helmet and gear, there was a secret Gus carried for years. He was gay and terrified to say it out loud. That all changed in 2015, when Gus publicly came out on the cover of ESPN magazine. It was a watershed moment for sports. Here was an X Games star, Olympic silver medalist, and global heartthrob, choosing to live his truth in a world where athletes were often expected to stay in the closet to protect endorsements and image. And shortly after, the world met the man who became Gus's anchor through the storm, Matthew Wilkas. Matthew, an actor known for his role in the indie rom-com Gaby, brought a different kind of energy into Gus's orbit. He was witty, grounded, and quietly confident, with a charm that balanced Gus's adrenaline-fueled life. They met through Instagram, as so many modern couples do, and sparks flew quickly. Soon, they were appearing at events together, walking red carpets, and, most memorably, sharing one of the most talked-about kisses in Olympic history. At the 2018 Winter Olympics in Pyeongchang, Gus kissed Matthew at the bottom of the slope before his run. The moment, broadcast live, sent waves across the world. It was tender, unapologetic, and powerful. For LGBTQ+ athletes everywhere, it was proof that love didn't have to be hidden behind the finish line. Gus later said, "I didn't want to go to the Olympics and not be myself." But behind the headlines and viral clips, Gus and Matthew's relationship was refreshingly normal. They hiked, adopted dogs, binge-watched Netflix, and navigated the quirks of a long-distance relationship. Gus, still competing and constantly on the move, leaned on Matthew as a source of stability, while Matthew cheered from the sidelines, proud and protective. Of course, like many couples under the glare of fame, they faced their share of challenges. In 2019, the pair quietly announced they had parted ways, but true to form, they handled the breakup with grace and respect. No public feuds, no cryptic Instagram posts. In interviews, Gus called Matthew one of the most important people in his life and credited him for giving him the courage to live openly. Their love story wasn't just about romance, it was about revolution. Together, Gus and Matthew helped push forward conversations around LGBTQ+ visibility in sports, proving that elite athleticism and queerness were not mutually exclusive. Today, when fans remember Gus and Matthew, they remember more than just a couple. They remember a moment in history, a kiss at the Olympics, a declaration of love on one of the world's biggest stages, and the quiet, transformative power of two men who decided they didn't need to hide. Drop a 2 if you believe that love, when shared bravely, can melt even the coldest barriers. Sam, Tsui, and Casey Breves. When music and love create the perfect harmony. For years, Sam Tsui was one of YouTube's brightest stars, a trailblazer in the early days of online music who built a global audience with dazzling covers, mashups, and original songs. But behind the polished vocals and viral videos, another beautiful story was quietly unfolding. His love story with fellow musician Casey Breves. Sam and Casey first crossed paths through their shared passion for music. Both graduates of Yale University, they connected not only over talent, but also over a deep understanding of what it means to live a life dedicated to art. While Sam was lighting up YouTube with his dynamic performances, Casey was making a name for himself in choral music and as part of the a cappella world. Together, they were a creative force, and soon something more. For years, fans speculated about Sam's personal life, but he kept things private, choosing to focus on his work. Then, in a moment that surprised and delighted his global audience, Sam came out publicly in 2016, not just as gay, but as someone who was about to marry the love of his life, Casey. He shared the news in a heartfelt video titled "Coming Out," where he spoke candidly about his journey, his love, and the importance of living authentically. The announcement sent shockwaves through his fan base, but in the best way possible. Rather than the backlash some celebrities fear, Sam received an outpouring of love, support, and celebration from fans all over the world. It was a powerful moment, not just for Sam personally, but for LGBTQ+ visibility in online media. Here was a beloved figure telling his truth, and his fans were cheering him on every step of the way. Sam and Casey married later that year in a beautiful, intimate ceremony. Their wedding was a celebration of love, music, and community, with friends and family coming together to honor a relationship built on mutual respect, creativity, and deep affection. Photos from the day showed two men utterly in love, surrounded by joy and sunlight, dancing, laughing, and yes, singing. Since their marriage, Sam and Casey have continued to collaborate professionally, releasing duets, covers, and original music together. Their voices blend in a way that feels effortless, almost as if their connection offstage naturally spills into every note they sing. Fans adore watching them perform side by side, not just because of their talent, but because of the genuine love that radiates between them. But perhaps what's most inspiring about Sam and Casey is how they've used their platform to champion authenticity and LGBTQ+ representation. In interviews on social media and through their art, they've shown that love is love, that queer couples can thrive, create, and shine just as brightly as anyone else. They've become role models not only for young musicians, but for young LGBTQ+ people everywhere. In a world that still too often tries to box love into categories, Sam and Casey remind us that love, at its best, is boundless. Drop a 5 if you believe music and love together make the most powerful harmony of all. Rainbow Sparkles. Hunter, Doohan, and Fielder Jewett. A love story that started off-screen but shines everywhere. For many people, Hunter Doohan became a familiar face almost overnight. With his breakout role as Tyler Galpin in Netflix's Wednesday, Hunter captured the attention of millions with his boy-next-door charm, sharp acting, and magnetic screen presence. But even as fans shipped his on-screen romances, Hunter's real-life love story was unfolding quietly and beautifully with producer Fielder Jewett. Hunter and Fielder Wright's relationship began before Wednesday launched him into the pop culture stratosphere. They met the old-fashioned way through friends, and their connection was instant. While Hunter was building his acting career, taking on roles in series like Your Honor alongside Bryan Cranston, Fielder was busy behind the camera producing indie films and staying largely out of the public eye. Their relationship blossomed naturally, without the noise of celebrity drama. They were often seen together at small events, cozy date nights, and on each other's Instagram feeds. Fans loved seeing Hunter post heartfelt tributes and snapshots of their life together, from beach trips to quiet dinners. It was clear this wasn't a celebrity romance designed for headlines. It was two people finding home in each other. In December 2020, during the height of the pandemic, Hunter proposed to Fielder in a moment that was both intimate and deeply meaningful. He later shared the news on Instagram with a simple photo and the caption, "Is there anything more 2020 than an at-home proposal?" Fans and colleagues flooded the post with congratulations, thrilled to see a young queer couple so unapologetically in love. By June 2022, they had tied the knot in a joyful ceremony surrounded by family and friends. Hunter marked the moment with another heartfelt post, sharing wedding photos that radiated joy, love, and gratitude. The couple's outfits were classic but personal. Clean lines, big smiles, and an unmistakable spark between them. For many LGBTQ+ fans, seeing Hunter, an up-and-coming actor, share this milestone so openly was deeply affirming. It was proof that queer love stories could be celebrated, not hidden, in Hollywood. What makes Hunter and Fielder's love story especially inspiring is its simplicity. In an industry often obsessed with spectacle, they have prioritized the quiet, meaningful moments, supporting each other's careers, traveling together, and navigating the ups and downs of public life with humor and grace. Hunter has spoken openly about how much Fielder's support means to him, especially as his career accelerates. But beyond the glitz, their story carries a powerful message. Young queer love deserves to be seen, cherished, and normalized. For fans, especially young LGBTQ+ people, watching Hunter thrive in his career while nurturing a loving marriage sends a message of hope. It tells them that happiness isn't just a Hollywood fantasy. It's something real and possible. In a world hungry for authentic love stories, Hunter and Fielder have given us one of the best. Tender, joyful, and unapologetically true. Drop a 4 if you believe love. Like Hunter and Fielder's, deserves to be celebrated everywhere, on and off screen. Rainbow sparkles. Antoni Porowski and Kevin Harrington. When food and love became the perfect recipe. When Queer Eye burst onto Netflix screens in 2018, Antoni Porowski became an overnight sensation. With his chiseled cheekbones, effortless charm, and gentle approach to cooking, he quickly won hearts around the world. But for years, while Antoni helped strangers on TV embrace their authentic selves, his own romantic life remained largely off the radar. That changed in 2019, when Antoni was first spotted with Kevin Harrington, a quietly charismatic New York-based brand strategy director. Kevin wasn't a fellow celebrity or influencer. He was someone outside the media frenzy, someone real. And for Antoni, who was navigating global fame and the expectations that came with it, Kevin was a grounding presence. Their love story didn't begin with red carpets or magazine covers. It started the way many modern romances do. A casual encounter, a few shared interests, and a connection that deepened away from the cameras. Soon they were spotted at events, cozy in social media posts, and accompanying each other to family gatherings and vacations. Fans, delighted to see Antoni so happy, flooded their posts with hearts and words of support. One of the things that made Antoni and Kevin's relationship stand out was their balance. Antoni, often on the road filming, promoting books, and cooking on TV, found in Kevin a partner who understood the importance of keeping a low profile. Kevin wasn't trying to ride on Antoni's fame. He was content being the calm in Antoni's whirlwind life. In interviews, Antoni has been refreshingly open about how fame shaped his understanding of love. He spoke about the pressure to present the perfect couple online and the need to protect certain parts of his life from public consumption. With Kevin, he seemed to strike that balance beautifully, showing just enough to celebrate their love without sacrificing their privacy. Their Instagram posts offered glimpses into their world: lazy Sundays at home, goofy Halloween costumes, matching outfits at pride events, and snapshots of everyday moments that felt intimate yet relatable. They weren't just a celebrity couple, they were two people navigating life together. One plate of pasta, one dog walk, one quiet night at a time. But beyond the aesthetics and social media moments, their relationship carried deeper meaning. For many LGBTQ+ fans, seeing a high-profile gay man like Antoni in a healthy, committed relationship was quietly revolutionary. It normalized queer love in mainstream media, showing that gay couples could be aspirational not because of drama or spectacle, but because of kindness, authenticity, and mutual respect. In 2022, Antoni and Kevin took a joyful leap forward, announcing their engagement with a simple Instagram post, a black and white photo of their hands, rings intertwined. Fans erupted in celebration, seeing it as the culmination of a love story they'd followed and rooted for. Their journey reminds us that even in a world of celebrity spectacle, the most powerful stories are often the simplest. Two people choosing each other every day. Drop a 3 if you believe that true love is worth waiting and cheering for. Rainbow. And there you have it. 5 unforgettable love stories that didn't just melt the internet, they reminded us what real love looks like. Whether it's sharing a stage, a home, or just quiet moments away from the cameras, these couples show us that love in all its forms is worth celebrating, proudly, loudly, and unapologetically. In a world that's still learning to fully embrace LGBTQ plus love, these stories light the way. They remind us that joy, tenderness, and commitment don't need labels. They just need two people willing to show up for each other every single day. Tell us in the comments which couple touched your heart the most. And if you're ready for even more inspiring LGBTQ plus stories, hit that subscribe button. We're just getting started. Until next time, love boldly, shine brightly.